What'd you get? What is it? I thought fucking Ryan had a cigarette in his mouth.
Hello. Caleb, did you know about this shit? The little Indian with the star on the lollipops? Did you know about him when we were kids, that you could take him in and get like a free lollipop? Okay. Well, I just opened it. Can't really go and get one right now.
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah.
Well, hang on to it.
I was calling my supplier.
Yeah. Gotta do that.
No.
Nope. What? Hi, how's everybody doing? Ben, what are you doing?
Oh, we starting? it had a star with it too. Does that mean anything?
Well, Ben's not in cast anymore.
Hey Ben, you're not in cast anymore.
He's
Where to go, dude?
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, Zingo's professionals.
Dude, we're
boy.
always professional.
We stay professionals. Pre-professionals. This is the best. We're almost professionals, but we're not quite professionals.
Post-professional. Okay.
I mean,
next joke.
Professional.
Ben comes back and makes a bad version of the joke and then acts like the joke was bad.
It was.
You're bad. You fell out of cast, and I don't know why. How's everybody's week been? Ben,
right.
for you, it's the last 7 days.
Yeah, it's been fine.
God,
Pretty
here we
chill
go.
weekend, and I've my new schedule of trying to find things to do, trying to make myself busy with work has been kind of fun.
Yeah.
Not working till 3 a.m. has been fucking phenomenal.
Sounds like it.
I've loved that very much.
Yeah, you beat a game in like 3 days. How's that
I
feel?
sure as hell did. It felt great. It's the first game I bought since probably before summer, and yeah, I just sort of handled it.
Just mainline that shit.
Well,
You were,
about
like,
3
going
to
through
5
end of-
hours a night.
Yeah, you were
For-
going through like endgame shit the other day in the party, and you were like, "Oh my god, oh my god!" And I was like, "Cool, I need to."
Yeah, dude. The last hour of that game is incredible.
So
And
there's
the whole game's great.
there is no new game plus mode.
I don't know actually. Is there?
Okay, I don't know. I just saw you mention something
My
in a
comment didn't
Discord.
indicate. Yeah.
Yeah, and that seems like a big miss for that game, especially after the success of New Game Plus with.
I gotta tell you, it'd be a very short game.
Yeah, there's got to be something.
No, okay, it doesn't have it. But I've seen devs like supply that later. We're
Yeah.
talking about Jedi Fallen Order for you listeners and
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
viewers.
They added Game Plus to God of War. It wasn't there
Right.
initially.
right.
But
So
the
I'm not
reason
saying
this
it wouldn't
game
come.
is- I'll talk about the game for a minute. It's not very long, and it's not very big, and the way they make it longer. Hey, it's episode 16. Hey, guys,
Just-
it's episode
This
69.
this is episode 69, so let's just throw that out there real
So
quick.
Welcome to
Strap
Boo.
in.
Welcome to Booty Board.
Strap in, if you will.
Don't get 'em.
Or on, strap on.
So strap on, everybody.
Fuck.
We changed the music at the very beginning.
Hope so.
I'm here. This is gonna go off the rails real
Yeah,
quick.
it's gonna be Seinfeld music.
The only reason that that game is 20 hours long is because you have to revisit locations. So if you've got New Game Plus and the whole map is unlocked to you, it's gonna go fast. So
Oh yeah, just don't unlock the whole map. Make you do everything again.
What was the whole?
Game Plus is like double jumping, and the reason the map's locked is because you can't double jump.
Oh,
Okay, yeah, I was gonna say because like the Arkham games, you couldn't go to the areas that were unlocked until you got to the story beats in New Game Plus.
Right.
So this is actually gated based on character movement.
Sometimes,
So,
but it'll
okay.
tell you to go back because you got to go back to the temple because you have a piece that you can use now. But anyway.
spoiler
Yeah,
alert!
makes sense.
But yeah, yeah. But I loved it. It felt like a smaller scope game, but I loved it. and that's fine. It doesn't have
Was
it doesn't have to be Skyrim. You know, it was a little
was the story tight
yeah
and
yeah.
Tight button.
worthy of
loose?
worthy of Star Wars?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
I don't know if you guys are. I mean, nobody's played any of the old Jedi games often enough or recent enough to have any memory of it. But the old
Okay.
Jedi Outcast games,
Okay,
how Star Warsy those felt
Totally.
in it.
okay, good.
It really felt like somebody wanted to call this Jedi Outcast, and they
Yep.
could have. But since it's such a long dead franchise, they didn't.
You got it.
Oh, sure.
Because everybody who knows the story of the game, which if you've watched the trailer, you are a Jedi Outcast. They could have called it Jedi Outcast. But,
Yeah.
Yeah.
What if the next one's Star Wars Jedi Outcast?
That's what people are doing these days, just like Call
That
of Duty, right?
That would be great.
Yeah, I'll be down. Kyle Katarn shows up. That doesn't make any sense.
Just take off the number 4.
Huh? Yes. Well, yes. Well, that was Modern Warfare is like a soft reboot, but yes. What do you guys think about the fucking fact that Respawn's made 4 games and they're all 85 pluses on Metacritic?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's a good studio head, if I had to think.
Yeah.
You know?
I saw another thing that was like since 2015, IGN's only given 4 9s to EA games, and it's Titanfall 2, Apex, and Star Wars, and then Battlefield 1. And 3 of those are the same studio. And it's a studio that doesn't use the Frostbite engine. Hey, EA, fucking pay attention.
Yeah,
Get your head out your ass.
Apex uses the Source engine, which is 15 years old.
Yeah.
It's
But
insane.
but apparently allows you to keep iterating.
I mean,
Very
it's
good
also-
engine.
it's an amazing engine.
Yeah.
It's the engine
So-
that ran Team Fortress, and Team Fortress still runs well today.
Yep.
So
Still looks good.
If you want 200 frames a second, just go with the 15-year-old engine.
When all else fails, go with what you know.
yeah, exactly.
Go with what you know.
Speaking of Source, can we jump into that? Because that's kind of newsworthy.
Well, yeah, gotta ask everybody else how their week's been. But yes,
No.
we can do that. Eric, it's the first time that you've been on the podcast in a minute. Regale us with the tales of the great Eric.
I don't remember the last time I was on now.
You jumped into the middle of an episode for
Was that 2 weeks ago?
yes.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, so a lot of shit. I mean, shit, work is still crazy. We still have yet to backfill the person who left. We did find out, though, the person that left said they were going to like a holistic like health practice. And in reality, they went to a competitor. So I'm not really sure how that's going to work out because like their last day happened. And then the next day they updated their LinkedIn profile as project manager, insert competitor name. And we're all kind of like,
Some non-comp clauses that might be.
yeah, I'm not sure how that works overseas. Like if I were to do that, I would get in deep shit. But non-comp clauses, if you've ever had to fight one, which I have, are really hard to uphold in right to work states like Texas. So because it's basically saying you're not allowed to work, and it's like, well, you can't do that.
Sure.
So it's they're weird things. Other than that, it's been all consuming with the rebrand of my Twitch channel.
Congrats on that.
Thank you. That it is. You would think that building everything from scratch, it's a daunting thing because once you get into it, and I've done it twice now. There's so many things that people take for granted is watching a stream, like the shit that goes onto it, and I don't have teams of people like Doc or one of the big streamers or and this, Ben, because you've built them. There's a lot of shit from logo generation to then concepting to then laying out the graphics and then laying out the animations for I did everything, all new alerts, all new sounds.
Wow.
Luckily landed myself an affiliateship partnership with Nerd or Die. So that was awesome. So that helped out a lot because they were instrumental in some of the new alert packages. But yeah, it's pretty awesome. So yeah, other than that, it's been all Borderlands and all Call of Duty.
Yeah, I played Call of Duty with you guys a couple days ago.
Yep.
I streamed the night of your rebrand launch.
Yeah.
I streamed with you for that. That was fun.
Yep.
For the first hour, and then the last 30 minutes, we were all fucking pissed because that's how Call of Duty goes.
That is how that goes.
I think we switched to hardcore and then it got better.
Yes,
We were
yeah.
fine.
I do
Yep.
like hardcore. Yep.
Yeah,
do you remember the night
It's
where we
bullshit.
played and it was like an hour and a half of straight of just getting fucked over?
Mm.
And like before the next game started, I looked at the list and I was like, we're missing people. And I opened the party and like half the people were already in other games.
Yep.
Like an unspoken universal truth that we were all just like, fuck it, we're done. Like 2 people were in Rocket League, somebody was in Borderlands, like it was just over with.
Yeah, I had quit the game
You had already
and
picked your
loaded up.
fucking character, dude.
Yep, I was already in Sanctuary, and going.
Yeah.
It was nuts.
Yeah, Ryan, how's your week been, man?
It's been pretty good. I haven't done a whole lot other than moving off of Twitch to Mixer.
How's that been?
It's been pretty good. I like the new layouts. The dashboard's pretty cool. Like the analytics you can get.
Does it plug into OBS pretty good?
Yeah, you just switch. All you have to do is log into Mixer instead of Twitch on OBS. And
I've
then
got my stream key now, so.
in your stream queue.
You don't even have to. You shouldn't even have to do that. You should just authenticate your account and just go.
I had to have a stream key to use my camera.
Yeah,
They have a
Yeah,
20
Oh.
clock.
yeah. You have to.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
You have to wait 24 hours to use your camera, and that's
That's-
when they give you the stream key.
That's actually not a terrible.
Yeah.
No, it's not a
Terrible
bad idea
thing.
at all.
I don't know what they authenticate though. They're like, yeah, 24 hours, and you can use your camera.
Well, it's a
Okay,
bot.
but
It's
what
a
if
bot
it's
deterrent.
showing-
It's a bot
Yeah,
deterrent.
it's a bot deterrent.
It's from people like building spam accounts to like play bullshit.
Yeah, I mean,
on their
if
channel.
if you look at either of our, well, actually, mine doesn't have any at all in it. That's Twitch is. Oh, what? Neither does yours. Twitch is actually doing the job.
Twitch is cleaning up,
Weird.
maybe.
Weird.
Zipped.
I'm
tossed.
done.
Yeah. Bye.
I'm out.
Other than that,
Yeah,
Ryan,
I'm
how's-
on that grind of getting my followers back. I don't think they really have an affiliate program. I haven't looked into that whole.
They do.
They do.
They do. I looked into it. It's not very different from Twitch.
Oh, okay.
It's not very different. Yeah, I looked into it a while ago, so it's been a few months since
Yeah,
I
I'll
looked
have to
in.
pull it up and figure it out. But
Yeah, they've got it stepped out for you, so you know what to do.
yeah, so that's about it. Honestly, not doing,
Tell us about
not doing a
cable.
whole lot.
Oh yeah, my week's been fucking fun. So, all being said, like the weekend, fine, and like the beginning of the week, fine. The last 2 days have been kind of dog shit. So, yesterday, my grandma came over and we were barbecuing, and while my grandma and I are sitting outside, and Amanda's giving Charlie a bath. Charlie was not giving Amanda a bath. That'd be weird. That's strange. We heard this. We had the side door open so you can hear, and like we heard this crash, this loud crash, and like things shattering, and I was like, oh shit. So we both like sprung up, ran inside, and in my bathroom we have this floating vanity, so it's not attached to the floor, it's attached to the wall, and Amanda had briefly sat on it to do something, and the whole thing fell off the wall.
Oh no.
Luckily, it did not take the bolt moorings or any of the tile with it. It was just the frame from the cabinet. And luckily, the cabinet held up, so the sink didn't hit anything and break. So literally nothing broke, but the particle board, like on the back of the cabinet, which is why it was particle board. Is weird. So that was a thing. We got that fixed. It's not fixed. We got that like set up and taken care of relatively quickly with the people that we bought our house from. Were super cool, and they connected us with the people that they used to install the vanity. And that guy came by today while I was home, and then came back while Amanda was here to pick it up. So they took the sink off, and it's sitting against the wall behind me. You can see it right there.
Beautiful.
They took the sink off.
Ladies and gentlemen, Bounty Board, where we talk about everything and the kitchen sink.
Hey, man, that was good. So they took that off and then took the cabinet, and they're gonna have their carpenters rebuild the back with real wood, not plywood and particle board. And they're gonna bring it back, and they said they'd fix it for like a couple $100. And then, it's been a day, guys. Amanda's car this morning, we were supposed to take to the auto shop to get its 75,000 mile checkup. Went to turn it on, wouldn't turn on. Except it wasn't not turning over. It was turning over. It was sputtering. So the hooking up battery didn't do anything because everything else was fine. The steering column engaged, the transmission was shiftable, everything worked, and it was turning, but it was doing this like pup pup pup. And your boy got distracted while trying to tell Amanda what was going on, and flooded the fucking engine. And so we called the auto shop, and they were like, "Hey, we have a tow service we use. They can pick it up, and they'll just add it to the bill, and we'll get it all taken care of." All right, fine. Had to wait an hour for them to come out. They picked it up. They took it off. Then went into work and met some of the corporate bigwigs in the area, which was stressful. And then
District and regional, something like that.
Yeah. And then Amanda texts me that they need new spark plugs for the car, and the engine was flooded, and they have to order some parts, and it's gonna be about $1,200. Wow. So.
Oh, are they
adulting.
Replacing seals in the engine? They must have taken the engine apart.
Yeah, so they said they had to like drain the engine to see what actually needed to be fixed because it was flooded.
But God, how
flooded with what?
Yeah, how do you flood an engine?
Also,
how old is this car?
Also, I didn't speak to them.
Okay.
They spoke to Amanda, and she relayed some stuff to me. So I'm not speaking from a completely. Huh?
Flooding goes away as soon as your car turns on because it's burning it.
Yeah,
unless
and
your spark plugs are shit, then it's putting in more gas than.
Yeah, you can let it sit for a while, and you should be able to start back up.
Yeah, she said it has to change spark plugs and do a fuel systems check because the engine was flooded, and then they have scheduled maintenance on top of that. Basically, $1,000 for everything.
So
yeah,
how about you get that picked up and brought back to your house?
I've worked with these guys for like 4 years. They're super, super honest. It will come down if there's not stuff that needs to be done.
But I think what Ryan was saying is you get these two guys up here who know their way around a car pretty well.
Yeah,
and it's
spark plugs are probably.
And it sounds like even I know how to change a spark plug.
If they're rebuilding,
I'll drive to St. Louis, and
if they're rebuilding the top end. Yeah, go. Okay, sure, take it.
Yeah, but it doesn't sound like they're rebuilding the top end.
I don't know what they're doing.
Okay.
My transmission replaced for $2,000, if that puts it in perspective.
In what car?
In my car, in my Subaru.
Yeah.
Jeez, already?
I can have my.
No. I said you can. I can get mine. I can get mine replaced for $2,000, and a flooding issue shouldn't cost $1,200. But anyway.
Well, I don't know what was wrong with it. I don't know what was wrong with it in the first place, and that may lead to more things.
Yeah.
I don't know. But that's been my last like 12 hours. We can talk about that off air.
Offline.
Because that's not about games. But Ben was so anxious to talk about some. I don't know what the source of these.
Is playing a game, by the way.
What?
That shop is playing a game with you, but you said
I seriously doubt it. But speaking of not knowing where the source of my issues are, Ben, you wanted to bring up something that was related to source.
Segue.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nothing ruins a segue like calling out the fact that it was a segue. Yeah, so Source dropped an image the other day that was Valve. Dropped an image that was the Valve logo, and then it was Valve VR, and then the Half-Life logo. So the internet rightly exploded, and we learned that tomorrow they're going to unveil it, because this was the announcement. They're going to unveil, what's it called? Half-Life, Alyx. So Alyx is the female lead in the game, for those two of you that have never played it. And that's all we know. And the comments are suspecting it's a prequel, but I think, with clever naming conventions, this could be a sequel. This could be Half-Life Episode 3. Or just Half-Life.
Could be. Or it could be
one of the industry's biggest kept secrets. This industry's not very good at keeping secrets.
Yeah, that would be unbelievable.
Unless it is just an announcement, and they're going to show a little pre-rendered something or other, or a quick live in-game demo, and just to announce that, all right, we're going to start working on it. So this could be a Half-Life 3 announcement. But...
No, it's Half-Life Alyx.
Uh-huh.
Which is a VR game.
Uh-huh.
And they're launching it because they're launching the Valve
Why
Index.
Half-Life 3.
Huh?
Why none of those things aren't reasons it can't be Half-Life 3?
It's a VR game.
Uh-huh.
You want to play a 40-hour VR game?
Yes.
Half-Life's not 40 hours, but yes, I do.
Ugh.
But if you want to get
I'm
VR...
Yeah, I'm still waiting for
on
the killer app that entices me to say, okay, we're gonna go upgrade the graphics card. We're gonna put some shit in here. We're gonna rearrange my entire office with a green screen wall and the proper lighting, and we're gonna dive in. And
Hold on.
there
So
we go.
you think it would be a safe play for one of the most anticipated games in the fucking world to announce and require most people who want to play it to spend $500 or $600 to be able to play it?
No, yeah,
It's
Why
not
not?
Half-Life 3, y'all. Half-Life 3 is going to be a game that can play on consoles.
ah.
It's Half-Life Alyx. It's going to be a VR experience. They may tease Half-Life 3, but they're not.
Or
they're
it's to Ben's point when you were away. This industry is not going to take keeping secrets, and it's a total head fake.
Yeah, that would be funny. That would be funny as shit. And they're like, actually, Left 4 Dead 3.
Actually, guys, it's not Half-Life at all. The letters just kind of morph into Left 4 Dead.
That would be such a fucking.
That would be unbelievable.
I'd be so
Unbelievably
happy.
bad troll.
It'd be
Unbelievably
so
bad
good.
troll.
It'd be so good, though. I would be so happy.
I'm hoping it's just as much as one of the episodes, like Half-Life 2 episode 1 or 2.
They said episode 3 for that was supposed to come out like a year after episode 2, so.
Yeah.
It's dead in the water, especially when they said a few years ago that they're not going to make single-player games anymore.
Yep.
So, yeah. So
Yeah, Zing.
I just think VR is where it needs to be. There's,
Yeah,
I think, Eric, if you looked, the killer app's out there already. You just
Yeah.
haven't seen it yet.
there are killer apps. There aren't killer apps that entice me to make the purchase yet. I don't disagree with that.
I challenge you that app is actually there. If you had somebody like Odin guide you through it.
Yeah, no, but the apps that I've seen are like space sims and things that I'm not going to sit down. The killer app for me is a real VR combat experience in a modern warfare theater
Isn't
that is fluid and smooth, and we'll see. It's not there.
action game, aren't they?
Who?
It's VR. Ubisoft?
I think so. I can't remember the title of it.
Yeah, it's like had the anthropomorphic, like the people looking robots, and there was like a dead one on the ground. They showed a whole demo.
Yeah,
Was it
What?
Naughty Dog or something like that, maybe?
I don't remember
I
who.
have no
Maybe it
idea
was.
what this is.
Oh yeah, it was Naughty Dog. You're right.
It was not.
What the hell was the name of it?
Insomniac?
Insomniac. Yes, there we go. We'll get there eventually. We only talk about games, all day, every day.
Stormland.
Shit.
Storm-
Zing brings up an interesting point. Half-Life 3. It would be an interesting launch title for the next consoles, but
Yeah.
that's a super long shot. Oh, the other thing that happened was BlizzCon. Since I've been on the podcast since then, and
Oh shit! Yeah, there you go. That was what we did while you were gone.
oh,
We didn't get to talk to you about how emotionally and sexually aroused you became.
heart be still. The mother is back.
So,
Lilith.
was she involved in 3?
Not at all. She was referenced in lore. You could fight her in 2, but she's
Really?
never. Yeah, she just appeared. It wasn't a name boss or like a boss of the game. She just would randomly appear.
No, I remember that. That happened
Yeah.
to me. I was doing a thing
Yeah.
like early game, and Lilith showed up, and I was like,
Yeah.
"What the fuck?"
It is going to be unbelievably interesting how they weave in all the Sumerian and Babylonian and all of the demonic and historic lore of what Lilith actually is,
Sure.
and if they how deep they go with that. It's oh god, it
Because
just
Lilith was Adam's first wife, right? Made
Lil-
from the
yeah,
same
Lil-
clay.
Yep, and she refused to be submissive.
Subservient, yeah.
So she left, and then she oh man, and then
Yeah, she
it's
created
just-
her own kingdom.
yep, exactly. Yep, exactly. She gave birth to the primevals.
So are the dungeon crawlers?
Or sorry.
So go ahead, my bad.
Not the primevals. Diablo's actually her in the Diablo lore is
She said in the
Yeah.
trailer it said she was the daughter of hatred.
yeah, daughter of hatred. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Diablo.
the CGI trailer was unbelievably cool. It was super cryptic. I'm really excited to see who that necromancer was or is. There's some speculation that it's somehow Zoltan Cool got his body back, and he decided, you know what, I'm going to just fuck everybody and bring Lilith out of imprisonment. Or, you
I
know,
was down with the first part of that. The second part
yeah,
sounds bad.
we'll see, you know, how that works. But then they got it. They showed the gameplay, and they did exactly what I think needed to happen. With I had no problem with Diablo 3's art style. I just thought it was too bright.
Yeah.
And this palette has all of the same colors as Diablo 3. It's just muted,
Yeah.
and it's got that.
I think it looks more like Diablo 2.
Yeah, it does a lot.
But the thing to realize that gameplay trailer is that all the special effects and HUD were turned off. So,
Right.
Like there wasn't a lot of magic in this trailer. It was just swords and bows and arrows and stuff. You know. So
Well, they mentioned there's an interview with a developer that says that or one of the gameplays I was watching, one of the streamers from BlizzCon, the developer says there's not going to be much more than what you see. It's not going to be big and spectacular like what you got in Diablo 3. It's going to be a much more muted, a much more realistic type. And I'm like, you know, we got the druids back, which makes me super excited.
yeah.
So the dungeon crawlers in Diablo 3 are Nephilim, right?
Yeah.
So are they carrying that on, do you think? Or is it...
I don't know.
Is it going to be swindlers and swashbucklers like the trailer showed?
Well, Lilith, and I can't remember the angel that she mated with to create the Nephilim.
Wait, what? So the people in Diablo 3 are Lilith's kids?
Well, all Nephilim are born of Lilith and an angel, and I can't remember the angel's name. So, and then the angel, knowing what they would become, actually changed their, I mean, I guess you could say changed their genetics or their fate, so that over the generations, their power would slowly wane. Lilith, knowing that, then reignited their powers. And I don't know how this is all going to play into the canon and whatnot. And that as the generations went on, the Nephilim started to come back and regain their powers. So that's going to be super interesting to see how much they, you know, use that and play with it. Yeah, the game's 18 months away, and I'm just sitting there watching the internet every day, like, what's happening? Oh, nothing new. Okay.
Yeah.
And 18 months away is a purely speculative amount of months. Like,
Yes.
who knows when Blizzard's going to put it out? I think that the interesting thing that they did say is that it is going to be day and date on console, which is great.
Super down for that.
Because Diablo 3 kind of saw a resurgence once they took the console build and put it onto PC with the new with the console loot tables and everything else, and that it just made it more fun to play. And then all the stuff that you guys didn't experience because you were done playing, like the greater rifts, the end game content, which made the grind like a shit ton more fun. I'm just excited to see where they take the systems that they got towards the end of Diablo 3 or are still going. And apply them to the Diablo 4 world.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Lots of stuff from BlizzCon, not BlizzCon.
Yeah, Overwatch 2.
Yeah, Overwatch 2 looked good.
Yep.
I guess those are the two things I was super pumped about.
Yep.
Their Hearthstone stuff looked fun. And
yeah, if you're a card player and
World
like
of
that type of
Warcraft's
stuff.
trailer was incredible because
Always.
Blizzard needs to just make their own animated movie because they could. And they could make an animated movie for kids.
The movie just had people in it.
Sure.
But if you're going to make an animated movie for kids, make sure you don't market it for kids on YouTube or you're getting deep shit with COPPA.
Oh, yeah?
Check your YouTubes today, boy. So the FTC rolled out their new regulations today, expanding their coverage of COPPA.
Check the box when I opened
Yeah,
it.
so, yep. You've basically, if your content is not kid-friendly and you are targeting children in your advertising or personal selection of advertising and stuff like that, YouTube will just push the FTC right off to you to deal with the FTC. So there's now a couple of options. I don't remember what they say. Basically, one of them is, yes, my videos apply to children. No, they do not apply to children. Or I'm going to check individually. I just went ahead and said, I'm going to check this button. Nothing on my channel applies to children.
So the way I saw it, and maybe it's different with bigger channels. It was,
Inaris. Thank you, Panda.
It's yes, it's for children. No, it's not for children. But don't don't age restrict. There's a third checkbox. It says
Yes.
it's not made for children, but it's not made for children. Like
Right.
no, you don't have to put an age block on this.
Yeah,
So,
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
yeah. But it's not made for children. But
Right.
you can watch it. That's the way I've got my channel set up. So.
Yeah, it's basically that's the same way I have my channel set up. It's I'm not going to get any advertising or shit like that.
Zing in
Place.
the almighty Zing in the chat says that parents need to just pay attention to what their kids are
I
watching. Shouldn't be punishing content creators
completely
for bad parenting.
A
We've talked about
100%.
this. Yeah, we've talked about
100% agree with that.
However,
100% agree with that.
However, if your kid grabs an iPod and runs iPod, what year is it? iPad.
They still make iPods. Don't worry, you're good.
And runs away with it, and then there's going to be a chance for your kid's alone and gets to watch whatever they want.
Right.
CPLs. Child
Yeah, that's
protection
a
locks. You can still
yeah.
put them
It's
in it.
it's an education thing. It's I'm very all my kids watch YouTube. My 5-year-old son has got his shows that he loves to watch that are all kid oriented, and we're very involved. But I think that's the group of this 4 is going to be very involved in that because of what we do and the lives we live in this digital realm. Right? There's a lot of parents out there, like people up the street that I talk to and interact with. A couple across the street from me who they don't monitor anything, and they just leave it, let their kids run wild. And I'm just kind of like, it's and then, they kind of sweep it under the rug when their kids bring it up. I've seen it happen. I'm just like, guys, no, you gotta monitor that shit. Or, there are bad ideas that get propagated that way. Minds get twisted.
Yep.
And if they do get an iPod and run away with it to your, now you got me saying it too, Ben, an iPad and run away with it, or an iPhone and run away with it. Right. That's a teachable moment. I think the greatest example we had was that Fortnite story that Fat Jolly Guy told, that one of his kids figured out that if he went and got on the dad's PlayStation, he could buy whatever he wanted, racked up like $1,500 in charges. And the dad got all the money back and then punished the kid. He wasn't allowed to download any skins for like a year after that. And that was his scarlet letter. When his brothers were getting all the new shit, all the shit in there, it goes. So
yeah, for sure. Outside of those things, has anything newsworthy been popping up? So the reason I ask this is because most of the news I picked was based on the topic as well, because I figured we could just kind of roll that into one thing, bundle it up, because I figure we're gonna have a lot to talk about. The old Xbox XO19 London show last week. Dude, it was so good. It was so good.
I mean, just we'll get into it.
Take my money. I need
Yeah.
you to have it now.
I just updated a story in the bounty or the whatever in the paper.
Yep. There it
is.
That's all,
That's all, folks.
Desk.
So
In the Forza.
looks like Toyota lifted the car restrictions on Forza so far. They haven't done anything with Need for Speed yet, but apparently on December 15th or December 12th, they're releasing the Toyota Supra, the original, the '98 Supra, back onto.
Supra?
Is that a Supra? Releasing that back onto Forza. Apparently, the Toyota started the ban in like 2017, and they never really gave a reason why. And
Yeah, that's weird.
But the only instance of somebody saying why is that somebody tweeted, "Why did Toyota take all the cars from like Need for Speed and Forza?" And Toyota UK responded with, "Toyota, you can find our cars. What was it? You can find our cars in GT Sport, which doesn't promote illegal street racing." And that was the only reason that they had it. It's like, dude, you have. But the thing is, they had the Supra in frickin' Need for Speed or in the Fast and Furious.
Yeah.
The main car was in Fast and Furious. They're doing fucking 160 mile an hour on the highway, beating Ferraris and shit. But we're not gonna put in a video game that's fucking fake as hell.
If you see it is looming over Toyota and asking them to keep their brand away from street racing sort of, products. So it's not Toyota making the decision, like they're being pressured into, Not like
But I mean, in real life, I can still go buy parts if I owned a Toyota Supra to make it 1,000 horsepower car and go street race in real life. So they're not stopping the ban on parts being sold.
No, but it's like advertising for cigarettes. You can still sell cigarettes, but you can't do ads for them anymore on TV because people would go out and buy them because they saw the ad. So if you have a video game where you can drive a Toyota car hundreds of miles an hour, and then it encourages people to go buy Toyota cars and do that.
No, you can't go buy a Supra because they're like $60,000 now.
yeah, it's true.
It doesn't even look that good anymore.
Teaches me that if a train hits me, I just get to respawn. So
And I can.
Try that.
yeah,
I still have yet to see the little like checkpoints anywhere driving around like the video game teaches me. If I get the checkpoints, I get extra time.
yeah.
You know,
Yeah, there's not a driving line either.
it's kind of lame.
I never know when to hit the brakes.
I missed
Yeah.
that turn.
I don't know how to. I don't know how to brake anymore.
There's no brakes.
Hit the
Oh.
e-brake every turn. That's all it takes.
Yeah, dude, that's my favorite. This is a bit of a side, but there's a robot chicken skit that's just opens on a hill, and it's like trees and houses and birds, and it's happy. And this guy on a unicycle's like, I have no brakes, and flies by. That shit breaks me every time I see it.
Awesome.
Oh man, it's so good. Also, for those of you who didn't know, Ben a minute ago referenced a viral video that is very funny, where there's a Supra in a car wash, and these people are like, "Is that a Supra?" And this dude sprays Windex on his glasses, and then wipes it off and goes, "It's not a Supra!" Screams it.
Very
It's
good.
super dumb, but really funny, and everybody should just Google, "Is that a Supra?" It's the first thing that pops up. Okay, so that's most of the news. The rest of the news is going to be part of our main topic, which is us recapping XO19, which happened Thursday and Friday, and a little bit of Saturday last week in London town, over where the foggy tea is the best.
Where?
Huh? What'd you say?
Jolly old England.
Said where?
Jolly old England, with tea and crumpets and biscuits. Also, most of the people that presented were English. Shut the fuck up, Ben. My brain, get out of here. Yeah, most of the presenters were English, which was interesting. I don't know if was that the same in XO18 down in Mexico City?
I don't know.
It seems like a lot of Xbox's like a PR team is English, and
Is that a problem?
no, it's not a problem. No, it's interesting because like I don't think Xbox is.
We fought a war with them assholes. It's our country, damn it. Get out of my Xbox, you bloody yank.
Did you say Yankees? We're the Yankees.
We're the Yanks.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Way to
What do we
go.
call them?
You bloody redcoats.
Yeah. Good. I like it. What
You
is it?
Brits.
Bloody.
Bloody red coats aren't. That's why they wore red coats, so they couldn't. Bad guys couldn't see them bleed.
That's why I wear brown
Brown,
pants.
brown pants.
This guy gets it. He's wearing the brown pants.
Yeah.
I can't wait for Deadpool 3.
Oh, it's
I'm
God.
not gonna watch a trailer this time. That movie's ruined with trailers. Though two is not as ruined.
Yeah. So there's a lot of stuff to talk about in XO19, and I don't know where to start.
Start at the
So,
top.
I mean,
Yeah.
I guess go from the. So the
XCloud.
the biggest thing talked about, I guess, the thing that kind of led the meat of the show was Project XCloud updates. So I'm reading from Tech Radar. This was like a recap that was posted by them, written by Vic Hood. So thanks, Vic. I know you're a longtime listener of the podcast. He's not. The vast majority of the big news from XO19 revolves around Microsoft's cloud gaming platform, Project XCloud. At the show, Microsoft announced that it would be adding 50 new games to the service from 25 partners. There's a big partnership with EA. The EA, like, not worldwide studios head, but he's kind of like the community interaction head. Like, came onto the stage and talked about how EA's always had a good relationship with Microsoft. EA Access, for those of you who are unsure or did not know, EA Access was on Xbox exclusively for like 5 years.
Yep.
And then just dumped into PlayStation this summer, even with limited titles. So there's a big partnership with EA and XCloud. So I would imagine in the future you would probably see most EA Access games being XCloud games as well. Devil May Cry 5 and Tekken 7 were also added to that list. It included Madden 20, back to the EA thing. We also learned that Project XCloud will be available on Windows PCs in 2020 and will soon support additional gamepads, including the PS4 controller.
Yeah, that had a really progress.
Good move.
Which is interesting to me because Xbox and
Super smart
Sony
move.
at E3 said that they are working together on cloud gaming solutions.
Yeah. It's going to be, the next generation is going to be, I think, the first real, I mean, you look at Modern Warfare, and that game has had, I have had nothing but joy every time one of my friends, like we were playing, what was it, Saturday
You're
night?
going to say every time you play, and I was like, that's bullshit.
No. Saturday night, one of my friends from PC just hopped in the game, and it was flawless. They were playing. The one thing that needs to get ironed out is chat communications. Hopefully, a Microsoft partnership with Discord, an integration between Discord and Xbox Party Chat would be the next viable thing there. So now that everybody can just be talking
if
in the
Xbox
same.
buys Discord, that'd be so great.
Yeah, it would be awesome because then because I was in my Discord chat with that guy, and then in the Xbox party with everybody else. But if we could get everybody in the same thing. It would be amazing. I ordered a whatever the $50 Amazon Fire tablet is today, so I can actually play my Project XCloud beta because it's Android only. So I just got the little Fire tablet because that's all I need, and a clip that will clip it onto my controller. So I'm excited to dive in.
Be a heavy ass controller.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's the tablets. It's no bigger. It's barely bigger than an iPhone Max, right? So, yeah. So
Not
it's
a particularly light phone, by the way.
yeah. But yeah, it's gonna. I'm with the expanded library. I'm excited because there's a lot of games on there that I can just now, sit down and play that I might not have played while I'm on stream or had the time to play. Devil May Cry is one that I've wanted to go and finish. For a long time. Now I'll be able to sit down, on my, nights off when, Melissa's watching, Real Housewives and show I really don't, I'm on Instagram or Discord putzing around with now. Now I can just bloop. Okay, I'm going to play this.
Or when you're on the road.
Yeah, but even better.
Yeah.
When I'm on the road, I'll now have.
Sit down in a hotel bed and play some.
Well,
Xbox.
yeah, when I'm on site with clients all day and then I have to come do all the other work, that's exactly what I need to do. Something to distract me from the work I didn't get done that day.
Okay, well, you know what I meant.
Yeah, no, I know what you mean.
It's actually interesting talking about all this xCloud stuff because Stadia launched this week. We'll do that with big old quotation marks because, it's not doing well. Not a lot of people are like, yeah, I need this. A lot of people are like, it works.
Well,
kind of. Apparently, in super dark scenes in games, the artifacting is just bad because streaming black is hard. Apparently, I did not know this. So the dark scenes, the artifacting is great. You can still see things moving. It's not lagging, but it just does not look great.
Yeah.
On mobile at Starbucks, Patrick Klepek said it just didn't fucking work. It just didn't work. But on tablets, it was doing pretty well. He didn't notice any input lag. People aren't noticing a lot of input lag, but the problems with the launcher that family sharing doesn't work right now. And the suggestion from a Google exec for the workaround for family sharing was literally just buy your kids another copy of the game.
He fucking Don Matrick that.
Fucking what?
He Don Matrick it. And I'm like, did you guys not learn anything from the launch of Xbox One?
We can't
Seriously?
go 3 shows without bringing that guy up. And then you cannot buy games from Stadia while you're playing through your TV. You have to do it from your phone. So if you have it set up through your TV, you have to take out your phone, buy it, and then reset the device on your TV so that it refreshes and then lets you play. It's a beta. It launched in beta. The full scale non-founders pack is releasing next year. That's going to be when it will make more sense. They went from 11 to 22 games over the last weekend.
And that was a freak out move on their part, right?
Yeah, there was 11 games
add,
and they were like, "Here's more! Oh God, it's coming up this week."
Please, God, somebody buy this. I think
it just feels so strange.
Yeah, I think the
problem
problem
they had
with
shipping problems.
Yeah,
including one Google exec offering to send me a message on Twitter. I will pick one, and I will, if you're in the Bay Area and don't mind me coming over, I'll come to your house with it and help you install it, and we can play a game. To which I was like, don't do that. Don't do that.
Well, yeah, it's gonna have a hard time finding its place, right?
XCloud will too.
Well, I think the difference between XCloud and this is I've already got my entire library, right? I don't have to. I'm not purchasing another system and having another library, right? So, like XCloud makes a lot more sense to Microsoft, people who are bought into the Microsoft ecosystem, the three people on this podcast, and the millions of more that are listening. Um,
I like what you think. My brain was like, wait, what?
But my point being is I have access to a library that I've already spent. I mean, I've got 300 games sitting in my ready to install, bucket. And if I have access to all of those, more notably, if it does come to iOS, which, right now they said their plans to bring it there, but there's no definite timeline on that. If I can now sit if I could sit Cy down on it, or I can give Cy a controller, or Ella wants to play a game on her tablet. It's for that ecosystem, it works. Like Google is asking a lot of people to say, hey, you've got these multi-year libraries of games that we want you to abandon and start over at putting money in our ecosystem. That's also a hard pill to swallow.
Also announced at XO19, they said that all games on Game Pass will be on Stadia. Like Stadia, no, sorry, not Stadia. I didn't mean that. Games on Game Pass will be on Project XCloud.
Yeah.
So they're going to be shared, which that instantly makes XCloud so much more valuable. Like hundreds of games to start. All right, cool, dope, and I don't have to pay for them individually. Okay, cool, dope.
Yep.
Like,
it's just
all this and experiment.
And or this, I just fire up the app and say I want to play this game right now, and it just goes. There's not even an install. The one thing that I noticed is because I was trying to get my daughter set up on it. It does not. It only is on Android phones and on Android tablets. It is not on Chromebooks because she has a Chromebook. So,
which Chromebooks are moving to Android soon?
Yeah,
because the Chrome store is going away.
Yeah,
it's going to be the Play Store.
And
is it gonna swap out the one I've got, or is I'm gonna get a brick?
It might be an update.
That'd be amazing.
Because the Chrome Store and the Play Store are both Google.
Yeah.
So
neat. That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
I love my Chrome. It's not better than anything worth doing besides just crafting an email or writing on it.
Yeah, no,
it's literally a notebook. It's literally a notebook.
Yep. Yeah, I've played with the Pixel Book, the new Pixel Book that just came out, and it's really cool. But I think, again, Google is playing, going back to one of our very, very first podcasts, right? They're playing the infinite game, right? This is something that they're going to invest money into. They're going to craft, and I don't see it going away. And internet's only going to get better.
It's not, it's not going to ooh-yah.
See, I'm afraid.
Yeah, it's not going to.
Podcast is over.
We can't. We can't follow that.
See, I'm actually afraid they won't support it, because Google has a track record recently of starting projects and then walking away from them a year and a half later, and so I'm a little right. Or their fiber projects in OKC and Kansas City and things like that, where they tear up roads and build into the infrastructure for about a year, and then they go, actually no. And even though they've promised things in the city, that doesn't happen. And now you have cities saying, we don't want Google Fiber because we don't want to deal with the chance that you might not stick around.
Right.
So I'm a little worried because this is launching pretty poorly and seems really slapped together. That they may go, XCloud's got a better base and that we can't compete. And then they'll just dump out.
Yeah. I mean, it's a possibility, right?
Yeah. But that's the opportunity afforded by a company that makes billions of dollars. They can just shuffle a couple $100 million into something and go, not for us, and walk away.
They can have
none the worse.
They can have grand experiments that,
Yeah.
And it's. I mean, nothing that they put together is costing them. The infrastructure is already there, right? It's all back end software based, right? So it's all in the cloud. It's not like it's all programming. It's not like they went and built data centers for this.
Sure.
They're trying to capitalize on the games market, and I did talk to Turkish for a little bit in Discord in my Discord today about it, and he said, It's choppy, but it works. The controller though is the biggest. The controller, he said, just kind of feels lackluster, which I think echoes a lot of the feedback we've been hearing, from professional reviewers and around communities and whatnot.
Yep.
But yeah, we'll see. I mean, like we've said, Microsoft has the infrastructure and they have the loyalty of the library of consumers, and if they make Game Pass available on it and they make your library available on it, the games that don't happen to be on Game Pass and it works, then it's,
Yeah, and we'll know. Who knows?
it's going to win the arms race.
So the next big thing was a huge dump for Game Pass. A huge dump for Game Pass. 50 fucking games. So the ones that were available at the show, I'll read through those first. Age of Empires 2 Definitive Edition is on PC. Rage 2 on console. Remnant from the Ashes on console. Hearts of Iron 4 for PC. Lego Ninjago Movie Game console. Talos Principle console and PC. Trackers, which is like a train sim kiddie game, which looks kind of cute, is console and PC. And then Age of Wonders Planetfall, which is another game made by or published by I always forget their name. Haemimont, Harebrained Schemes, those guys, the guys that did Surviving Mars and
Okay.
Yeah. So those are available now. That was that day. Rage 2, if you heard me talk about it and we're like, I'm not buying that, you don't have to now. Coming this holiday, we've got Darksiders 3, which I did not get a chance to play, and I look forward to getting a chance to doodle with. That's on console and PC. Console gets Life is Strange 2 Episode 4. PC gets the Red Strings Club, which looked super cool. Vambrace, what is this? What's the Cold Soul is console and PC. The Escapists 2 console and PC. My Friend Pedro, which I did not know we were getting on console because it was a Switch game. Witcher 3 shows up on December 19th, which is fucking huge.
Unbelievably cool.
And I saved the best and my favorite for last. Halo Reach and Master Chief Collection on PC December 3rd and Reach on console December 3rd. Fuck yeah.
Yeah. Amazing.
And then
hang on, the 2020 list I will not read all of because it's fucking bananas, but I'll do the big hitters. We're getting the Yakuza 0, 1, and 2 Kiwami on Game Pass. We're getting Final Fantasy 7, 8, 9, 10, 10, 2, 12, 13, 13, 2, 13 Lightning Returns, and 15 all on fucking Game Pass for console and PC, which is fucking bananas. Ori and the Blind Forest, Bleeding Edge, Wasteland 3, Flight Simulator. Local St. Louis developer Butterscotch Shenanigans game Levelhead is ending up on Game Pass next year. A cute little game called Skatebird. Guys, it's a fucking ton. And I left out about half of the titles coming to 2020.
Yeah, there's a lot. My Friend Pedro, I'm excited about that. Play that on a normal controller.
Yes, because the Switch controller we played it at Comic-Con because Tech brought his Switch and had it. And minutes in, I was like, this sucks on this controller. Yeah. I don't know. The Switch controller feels like it's under capable, less capable.
It just didn't feel like it was made for that.
No.
That game is too complicated, and
hey, LaBelle.
Those two little sticks with the little thumbsticks and the little triggers and the little buttons. No.
Yeah.
I felt like a giant person performing surgery on somebody for the first time with a video game controller. It was like,
oops, wrong button.
I died one too many times. I'm like, I'm done.
I think
I can't do this.
Yeah, I mean, just looking at this list, I got an invite to the Bleeding Edge technical alpha today too. So I'm gonna have to download that.
Okay,
We're not allowed to. You're not allowed to stream the technical alpha, but I'm excited to dive into Bleeding Edge because that game was one of mine from E3 last year.
Yeah, and the footage they showed this looked fucking bananas. I had no idea what was going on screen.
This game, it just looks, it looks fucking bananas. But
the chick they showed off at the end with the fucking bird legs who runs with her arms back.
Yep.
Remember the Naruto run?
Yeah, she was definitely needed for Area 51. Yeah, I think all this is doing is looking. I think Microsoft, the Xbox One, and Phil Spencer has said it, that the Xbox, this has been a learning experience for them, right? It's the way that I equated it to in a conversation I was having the other day was, you have that dynasty team all through high school that all of a sudden you graduate all 30 seniors, and then you've got to rebuild. And that's what this has been for Microsoft over the last, 8 years, is rebuilding and innovating in ways that is beyond the console to take root. And I think if you're a parent out there looking for something for Christmas and you're diving into this, if the sales guy is worth a shit, and worried about, the worried about the consumer's dollar, not necessarily their loyalty, right? They're going to point the parent towards, look, you can buy this game, and for $1 for the next 90 days, your kids, they have access to hundreds of games.
Dude,
you don't
I've
have
walked
to spend
so many sales.
Yeah.
I've walked so many sales in the last week of people walking into my store like literally yesterday, a guy walked up to the counter. Not yesterday, I wasn't at work. Tuesday, 2 days ago. Guy walked up to the counter with Gears of War and Outer Worlds, brand new. And I was like, nope, go home.
Nope, don't do it.
He was like, what? And I was like, $1 for 3 months you can play these games.
Yep.
And then after that, it's $10 a month. And he was like, what?
I don't know why you would do that. I mean, your business is selling video games.
Why don't you sell them a Game Pass subscription?
Yeah, what?
Because they don't have Game Pass subscriptions on hard copies yet.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
We're getting them for Black Friday. And for Black Friday, there's a rumor that we're getting a 3-month Game Pass Ultimate for $10.
Yep.
But yeah, like, I will tell people, like, hey, dude, like, you've just picked up 3 games that are on Game Pass, and the other 2 aren't. Grab the 2 that aren't and enjoy those, but throw down $1 for the first 3 months of Game Pass and play those games on Game Pass.
I just hope you got a reason. Okay, so I get it's awesome that you're taking care of this guy, that you didn't make him spend $120.
Mm-hmm.
You just lost $120.
No, beyond that.
Nah, we didn't.
We already know, like, there's less and less reasons to go to the store anymore. Right? So I just hope he's got a reason to come back. He does have a reason to come back because he's gonna like you. I just hope he's got a reason to come back because
I'm not the reason why GameStop's going out of business. Y'all, here's the thing. Here's the thing that no one's thinking about, right? Here's the thing no one's thinking about. GameStop doesn't make any fucking money off of new sales.
Yep.
So I'm not losing them money.
Not a dime.
And if they're going to buy them used, I shut up. That's fine. I don't say it. That's fine. Whatever. But if they're buying them new, like, no, dude. Just fucking go to Game Pass. And save some money so you can buy some used shit. Or some statues. They have a Batman White Knight statue at my GameStop, and I'm buying it because it's fucking awesome.
How much is it?
It just dropped from $70 to $50 today.
$1,200.
And I'm going to have Employee Weekend coming up so I can buy it for half price.
You notice he's got a popped collar?
Yes. Because Batman in boat shoes is awesome. Okay, so beyond the services, right? Beyond XCloud and Game Pass, we got a bunch of game announcements, which were interesting. So the first one was Rare's new game, which they showed very little of, but looked pretty. It looked kind of like a Journey / Ashen. Remember, Ryan, we tried to play Ashen for like a night and then gave up? So yeah, Rare unveiled a game called Everwild, which...
Yeah, that wasn't much of a reveal, but...
Yeah, it was a trailer. We'll see what happens in the coming days. So there was an interesting point brought up by somebody on a podcast, which was probably Waypoint, because I've had to catch up this week. But someone brought up that, like, Xbox... No, so what Eric was saying, right? Them playing catch up and we're trying to rebuild a team that lost a bunch of seniors. Straight up, in the beginning of this show, the head of studio acquisition for Microsoft, or one of the guys on the stage, I don't remember who it was, I'm sorry, but he said that, like, Xbox has been playing catch up. He straight up said, like, we've been buying a lot of studios, and we've been building up a stable and building up a team, and now it's time to stop growing and start executing. And I was like, oh damn, here comes some shit. And so then this thing was pointed out on Waypoint, I think, or last week or earlier this week, that, like, what we're seeing right now and titles that are released for or that are scheduled for early next year or late next year even are the titles that like it's encouraging because it looks like Xbox is giving people money and giving people enough money and then freedom to say you had that weird idea. Do that while the rest of your team works on a big release for the launch of our new system. Like put out Grounded, which we'll get to in a second. Put out Everwild. Work on some stuff that's that quirky idea that seems cool and do it. Because you know Ninja Theory is building a big single-player story-based game because they've already said they're committed to making games about mental health issues. And so, like, they're making something else big. They staffed up.
I can't wait
time.
to see what they do after Hellblade. I mean, that was as far as I'm concerned, that's my game of this generation. Because
a very crass thought. If you, I'm just a serious question. It just sounds crass. Okay, so if you had to pick a mental health issue to make a game about, which would you pick?
Woof. No, that doesn't sound crass. That's just a
Think
tough
about
question.
It sounds like I'm making,
No, it's not. Yeah, it's like a buffet. Yeah. A debuffet because they're all debuffs.
Let's see, it's going the wrong way.
Sorry,
that went the wrong way. I don't know because the Hellblade spoke to me personally because I suffer from a mild form of what it's suffering. That's why I'm always looking all types of different directions and I'm fucking all sporadic sometimes in my thought. And then when you guys have heard me talk on stream, you've heard me talk on this podcast, and every now and then my words get all jumbled up and shit. It's because I have a condition that makes my brain go in 17 different directions all at once, and then I can't articulate. And then, every now and then I'll look over my shoulder because I think I hear something, and it's my auditory receptors are actually putting a noise behind me, even though there's no noise. So that game spoke to me in every way possible. And if, you guys can go back and watch the stream. There are many points.
Watching you play it was
emotional. It was
good.
like I was in tears a lot of the game because I was like, holy shit, this is. And yes, it was very hard to play because of the way they do the auditory. Yeah. It was like, holy shit. Taking it back off this for a second, go back to the quotes. 4 days ago, Phil Spencer said, I would say that learning from Xbox One generation learning from the Xbox One generation is we will not be out of position on power or price. We were $100 more expensive than the PS4, and yes, we were less powerful.
Whoa,
so
that's
for the head of Xbox to come out and go, hey guys, look, this is what we're doing. And you can see the investments that they're putting everywhere.
Yeah.
We haven't even touched on, and I know it's not the topic of this podcast, but the money that they're throwing at influencers to jump into their proprietary streaming platform, Mixer, right? Shroud, King Galtheon. I'm sure there will be more before year's end.
Yeah.
They're making moves.
Yeah.
Go ahead. I just got.
Oh yeah. Just to address Ben's question real quick, I think that like the best choice for me, or not even the best choice, but what I would want to see in a game, I think we're gonna get, and I guess I can skip a little bit ahead to the new Don't Nod game that's coming to the Xbox. Tell me why. Because to me, what I want to see most in games represented more is like depression, chronic depression, and anxiety. Because that's what I go through a lot. And so, like, seeing that represented well would be definitely aces for me. So, yeah, we'll get into Tell Me Why. So, Don't Nod's the folks who make Life is Strange.
Yep.
And they are making a game about twins. And one of the characters is transgender. Mm-hmm. And that's slated for spring, and it said all episodes in spring. I think they're bunching them up. I think you get one, and then a week later you get another one, and then the next month you get another one, and next month you get another one, and then there's going to be a little bit of a delay between that and 4 and 5, or it's just a 3-episode mini. I don't know, but that looks super interesting. But I brought up Grounded earlier, and I know we have some survival game fans here.
I don't know. I don't know. It didn't grab me. Doesn't look like my thing. Eric, we're talking about Grounded, the miniature survival game with like player co-op.
Yep.
Didn't grab me, but I don't know. It just looks sort of, I don't know, like you could build your own defenses and forts and stuff. That's kind of cool, I guess. I don't know. Didn't look like my cuppa.
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of that genre because it's just. I apologize, Panda, for not saying ninja in the jump to mixer.
I was gonna say it and then I got distracted.
Yeah, my bad. I'm not a huge fan of that genre because I live in real life and I have to feed myself and I have to shelter myself and I have to pay
with this?
and I have to pay bills and
Yeah.
if I want to go hunting for food, I can go do that. I have access to ranches where that's a thing. So when I sit down to play a game,
Skywalker Ranch?
You can't just walk on a somebody's ranch and kill whatever.
yeah, I just want to.
Walk a horse.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, yeah. But it's not. Yeah, it's not that I don't like it. I just it's the same reason that my daughter doesn't want to play the survival mode in Minecraft. She just wants to go and create, and I'm fine with that. So.
Yeah,
It's a bug's life with tiny humans.
Yeah, it's Honey I Shrunk the Kids, dude.
Exactly what it looks like.
It's Honey
Yeah.
I Shrunk the Kids.
I was hoping that was what it was going to be called, actually. That would have been amazing.
I don't know.
I think
That game seems fun to me.
last episode we talked about your favorite game. It seems like Wasteland 3 checked a lot of the boxes off that you wanted.
Okay, so yes, it does seem like it's going to be exactly that, but I am also very nervous because I played Wasteland 2 for about 3 hours and hated every fucking minute of it.
Okay.
But that might have just been because it was a smaller title, like they had less support, they built it on their own, and now they've got the full might and power of Xbox Game Studios behind them, allowing them to polish something off a little bit better. It may have also just been a bad time to play it, because that does happen. Like, I think I would have gotten into Sekiro if I didn't start it on stream, and I didn't have something to do in a couple hours. So I pushed through 3 hours and really ricocheted off of it. So that might be it too. But yeah, Wasteland 3 looks like my shit because it feels like a mix between XCOM and Mutant Year Zero. And both of those games I just fucking ate up.
Right.
Mutant Year Zero was so much fun. Did anybody else in this chat play Mutant Year Zero, or am I the only fucking one?
I didn't like the characters. I didn't like a duck person and a moose person. It just didn't grab me.
That was a bore, but that's okay.
The moose was the DLC. He's not wrong. There was a moose person.
He didn't play with the boar. He didn't play with the moose.
Well, okay. I hope. What do you think Everwild's going to be? It looks like a 4-player exploration thing, but like there was no.
I got Monster Hunter-y vibes from it too. Like
Yeah.
the 4 of you were gonna fight big things, but they didn't show much of those. But like the deer with the fucking flower head was so pretty.
Yeah.
It's rare. It's gonna be beautiful.
I wonder if it's gonna employ the rare strategy of creating a compelling sandbox where people can do whatever they want with it.
It's weird because like that's not a rare strategy. That's a Sea of Thieves strategy. And like Rare before that made pretty linear, pretty objective based experiences. So like I'm not saying you're wrong though. Like I think it would be interesting to see if that is the direction their studios moved in, and they want to build a livable space that you can do whatever in, and then add things to it. I think if they gave me that on the ground, I think if they gave me that experience, the Sea of Thieves experience on the ground in a forest, moving around myself, I think I would like it more than sitting on a boat and waiting to get to the next place.
Sure. Active traversal, maybe.
Yeah. Especially if there's any mounts or things you can ride on, and hunting is a thing, because that's always something to do. Hey, I'm gonna go. Hey, there's a creature over there. Let's go get it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Who knows? Well, the last thing that was really talked about at Black, I just spoiled it. Why does Dracula ski on Lake Erie? No. The last thing they really talked about at XO19 were some of the Black Friday deals. I'm just going to read through the interesting ones. The all-digital edition of the Xbox One S, which actually does 4K, I realized.
Yep.
Which is not what the other Xbox One S does, but yes. The all-digital, which does 4K and HDR, and 1 terabyte is going to be $150.
So hold on. What do you mean doesn't do 4K? The other Xbox One.
The Xbox One S is HDR and upgraded processing, but 4K.
Are you talking about gaming? Okay,
Yeah,
just
gameplay
gameplay. All
is
right.
not in
I was
there.
gonna say because it plays Blu-rays at 4K just fine.
Right, but the all digital Xbox One S
Gameplay is
advertises
that
4K
right.
on the box, which is I was like, oh shit, that's all right. That's gonna be $150 next week, and it comes with Minecraft, Sea of Thieves, and Fortnite Battle Royale, which arguably is 2 free games. Yeah.
Like what? That's what the parents are trying to get. Like they're just trying to get like, oh yeah, you can get these 2 games for free.
Alternative,
Yeah.
yeah.
Whenever you get your Microsoft, your Xbox Live, you're gonna be like, "Oh, Game Pass, it's free, it's fantastic."
Yeah. Arguably, PlayStation's also putting out a system deal next week that's $200 for a PS4 Slim that comes with, and this is not a fucking lie, Last of Us, God of War, and Horizon Zero Dawn complete, which is a tremendous deal.
Yeah.
Yes.
I need a new PlayStation. Mine sounds like
a jet.
You guys ever been to an air show?
Yes.
Like when the plane crashes, or
I thought that was funny enough. The joke was gonna go like, "Have you ever heard a Harrier take off?"
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it sounds like if you were to be inside your vacuum when you turned it on.
Yeah, I have to turn my game up louder than my PlayStation.
how many different ways can we describe this?
Well, you haven't given us one yet. Let's go.
I said when the plane blew up, or whenever it was just flying. So fuck you.
That's so bitter. The Xbox One X is getting a minor price drop down to $350, which is a $150 discount, and will be available inside a number of bundles, including a Gears 5. There's a Star Wars bundle. There's an NBA bundle, and I think there's a Division 2 bundle. Remember that game, guys? Xbox One controllers get a price drop of $20 from November 24th to December 2nd. So if you're looking to upgrade your controller, good time to do that. And then a bunch of games are going to be discounted. Microsoft used XO19 to announce that Forza Horizon 4, Sea of Thieves, State of Decay 2, and Hellblade will be all 50% off this holiday. And they also announced that Gears 5 will get a smaller but still appreciated 33% discount for Black Friday. So, now that we've...
Get those games on Game Pass.
Yeah, but people still like buying their stuff. As was mentioned when I pointed out that I did buy Sea of Thieves, and people thought I was fucking crazy.
I bought Stay of Decay.
God.
I'm just
fucking picks on me for that every single time we talk about buying games.
So
Yo.
Oh, go ahead, Caleb. I was
going to move into another question, and you had a question, so please.
Well, no, I was just going to ask: is GameStop partaking in the Xbox All Access program at all, or no? Is that strictly through Microsoft?
No, that's all through Microsoft because it's like basically a loan application like you do when you finance a phone.
Yeah, the upgrade to Project Scarlett is what is interesting there to me. So, for those of you who don't know, it's $31 a month for 20 more months with no upfront cost, and then you get the console upgrade option when the Scarlett comes out, which is
$30 a month, and you get an Xbox One S with Game Pass Ultimate.
Nope, this one says Xbox One X.
Is it an X?
This one says get an Xbox One X and upgrade to Project Scarlett in as few as 12 months. With Xbox All Access, you get an Xbox One X console, over 100 games for $30.99 for 24 months, no upfront cost, plus a console upgrade option. So it's
financing a phone.
Yeah,
but it's Xbox with all of its services.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
So if you've got the credit, and you
did you hear the sadness in Ben's voice when he said that?
And you're gonna pay it off instead of changing your identity or declaring bankruptcy, then go for it.
Yeah, I've already got my Scarlet fund set aside.
You can get an Xbox One X.
That's not financing work, buddy. It's never the same price.
So,
well, no, it is. The Xbox this All Access plan is the same price. It's no interest. It's the same.
I just did the math.
Well, you're no. You're $30.99 for 24 months, but you're also getting the $15 a month Game Pass Ultimate. So you're really only paying 15 for the console itself over
Yeah.
the 24-month period.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Got it.
Yeah, it's not anything extra. In
Yeah.
fact,
With all-
$15 a month for 2 years is only like $360. That's not even paying for the full Xbox.
Yeah.
Yeah, we could debate the finances of it. I think it's an interesting way to get somebody hooked into Microsoft's finance department. I'm not really sure.
Eh.
That
Rent a center does it. And you pay like $1,200.
it just brings up the scene in Ready Player One where everybody's in the pods working off their debt playing a video game for IO.
Yeah. I had the opportunity to talk to an Xbox rep today, and they said that the adoption rate for Game Pass Ultimate right now is like 27%.
I mean,
That means
Most subscriptions are like 9 to 13%.
yeah, yeah.
They're
I mean,
kind of kicking ass right now. So
yeah, if you own an Xbox and you don't have and Game Pass, you're missing out.
yeah, absolutely. So of the things that were announced at this show, what is everybody most excited for? I had a bunch of questions for this, but we talked pretty at length about all of the things. So like, what's the one thing, title, feature, anything that you saw at that show that had you like, yup, this is good?
I mean, there's a bunch of single titles I'm excited to play. I'd have to say that the Final Fantasy collection is way up there for me.
Yep.
We'll definitely play 7, 8, 9, and 12 again.
Yeah.
For sure. They also, I don't care about 15, but they did mention also at the show that they're bringing a cross-platform Final Fantasy 14 to the console.
Wait, they did say that? I missed that.
Yeah.
Did they really?
Did they really?
Yeah.
Bye. See y'all later. Nice knowing you. Fucking second that game comes out, that's the only thing you're gonna see. Because if that actually happens, fucking Kitty Ninja is gonna be reactivated, and
Your reaction was so extreme. I had to gauge if you were being serious or not.
nope, I'm dead fucking serious. I've got a level 60 fucking ninja that's just been sitting there waiting for this day, and oh baby, it's coming. If that's oh man, let's go.
These few people out there might have noticed there's one Final Fantasy that's missing in our list, number 14. 14 is one I've been dedicated to, working with the director to find a solution to bring that game to Xbox. And while it's not in the news today, I wanted you to know, rest assured, that we will be bringing it to that game to Xbox. So,
Who said that?
Phil Spencer.
Oh,
the bitch.
Yeah.
Melissa might as well file the divorce papers now.
Jesus. Especially knowing the fucking past, dude. Come on.
For those of you who don't know the past, right when I got married to my wife, I was helping run one of the biggest North American guilds in Final Fantasy XI. It consumed every night of the week after work from about 6 p.m. to 2 a.m. The only way I was able to separate myself from that account was selling my entire account to a guild seller for just about $6,000.
Is that game?
Not telling anybody.
Is that game?
And I didn't tell anybody either.
Oh yeah, that's right. You got messages from people like a month later, like, "Yo,
Damn.
Said nothing
Damn.
to nobody.
That's fucking.
that is the true Irish goodbye." And now I have a question, Eric, and I know you are not going to be. I know you're not going to be qualified to answer this, not because you're not a qualified individual, but because you cannot answer this objectively. Is this game that good, or does it just click with you?
It's hands down the best MMO out right now. From a story-based perspective, from a systems-based perspective, from a gameplay mechanics perspective, I am one of the biggest Final Fantasy fans on the planet, and to be able to do the thing about Final Fantasy 14 and the same thing with 11 is it's an MMO that it keeps the Final Fantasy. We're talking about Final Fantasy 14, Panda. It keeps the Final Fantasy stories alive, right? It's not like in MMO, you can very easily get lost and lose track of the main story. The Final Fantasy games do such a good job of keeping the main arc of a quest alive, and they do that still in the MMOs, and they're just epic. Like I watched Skiwi, friend of the show, play through Shadowbringers, which is the latest expansion, and it was the whole storyline was just amazing. And that's outside of the systems and the cool shit that the characters do and the classes do.
What is it, where does it place you as a player? What is your role in the landscape?
You are so you have to remember the sordid history of Final Fantasy 14, right? Final Fantasy 14 launched and it was an abysmal wasteland of a game. It was awful. Okay. It was terrible. So they did the coolest
story
thing.
Is actually fucking incredible.
Well, no. Hold on. Time out.
No. I'm saying this story you're telling.
Oh, this story. Oh, yeah.
Is incredible.
So basically, the systems were broken. It was complicated. Everything was menus upon. It was atrocious, right? So they did the coolest thing they could have done. It was roughly about a year after it launched. They started just giving everybody all the powers, all the ultimate weapons, and everything else. And then there was a cataclysmic event. It got to the point where you logged into the game and there were behemoths running around the city. It all built up to this thing where the cataclysm happened. Servers went dark.
Whoa.
They took the game offline for 6 months.
6 months.
And then relaunched it as Final Fantasy XIV: A Realm Reborn.
Okay.
And then so you now you are a character who has been touched by the light, which is, in Final Fantasy world, a big giant fucking crystal who's bestowed powers upon you. And you are working to solve the mystery of, or stopping that cataclysm from coming back. And stopping, technology enhanced forces from getting that power and ruining it again. And that's just a Realm Reborn. And that's all the way to level 60. And then it goes with, I can't remember the second name of the second expansion. I haven't even made it to the second expansion yet on my PC character. Like I'm still in a Realm Reborn content.
Yeah.
And then that's a totally different story. And then Shadowbringers is a totally different story arc, which I think takes, these are all, the story arcs are 30, 40, 50-hour experiences just to get through those stories.
I remember hearing,
not to mention the side quests.
I remember hearing Austin Walker, because he was excited by Shadowbringers, like what it was doing. And I remember him talking about, like, actually seriously debating getting back into that game, or starting that game to get into it, to get to the Shadowbringers content. And he asked some of his friends who are deep in the game, like, how long is it going to take me to get there? And they said like 150 hours to like 200 hours. And he
to
had
just get to Shadowbringers.
And he had like an anxiety attack and like stayed home for like 2 days and was like, I don't have enough time to play all the things I want to play.
Now, the big difference between 14 and 11, right? The problem you got into when you were playing 11 was that was not a casual game in any way. Like there were the best gear in the game spawned from these things called notorious monsters, which only spawned once every 24 hours, and they had a 6-hour spawn window. So if you killed it at 10 p.m. Eastern time, from 7 p.m. Eastern until 1 a.m., you better have somebody camping it because it can spawn in that window the entire time. So that was a nightly thing. And then there were the raids, which took upwards of 5 hours. A raid you'd done 600 times took 5 hours. And then there was the farming of the city in the sky. You had to get all these monster pieces to then spawn Kieran because you wanted Kieran's gear. But you had to fight all the little monsters around it. It was nuts. None of that's in 14. 14 is very casual. You can solo the whole of the experience. And then they've got dungeon finder systems. And they've done a really good job of modernizing it as a game, which is great. But man, I missed that quote from Spencer, and now I am...
Guys, I wish, if you're listening to this on podcast services on Friday or any time past this, please dig through our YouTube history and find episode 69 and fast forward to like minute 95?
90? Yeah.
90? Minute 85.
Yeah.
Just so you can watch Eric clap and jump up in his chair like a school kid who just found out they're having a fucking pizza party today, not later. Today, pizza's on the way. That was his reaction.
The pizza's not even here. We don't know when the pizza's gonna get here. We just know there's fucking pizza coming.
Yeah, exactly. That was incredible, and I hope everyone who wants to experience that gets the opportunity to.
Yeah, it's man.
Ryan, I now know Eric's favorite thing about this show, so I don't even have to ask. Ryan, what was your most like notable moment from this event and the announcements that came from it?
I don't think there's any games that really, nothing new that really stuck out to me. I like that Game Pass is expanding more. I know that's a thing that they're going to keep doing that anyway, but I think 50 new games dropping is pretty freaking incredible.
Yeah, it's a big diversity. A lot of game diversity.
Yeah. So that's probably about it.
All right, Game Pass. Game Pass is definitely up there. It's hard to say anything but Game Pass, really. I am very excited about Bleeding Edge and seeing what that ends up becoming. I'm also super excited that we're getting a lot of Xbox. The most exciting thing for me, honestly, was they're admitting that this generation they weren't great on in-house exclusives, and that they have done the building they want to do, and now it's time to start executing. That is them's fighting words, you know what I mean? PlayStation's been kind of rolling around at the top of the gold heap, king of the world, like Smog, and gotten lazy. And I think that Xbox is...
They don't have Game Pass equivalent as far as I'm concerned.
No. And PlayStation Now is not it. Yeah. It is not it. And so, it just more and more as time progresses, it's becoming very clear that PlayStation's got to come with way more than just the gloves off next fall, because Xbox is they've got to come with their pants off already, because Xbox is getting ready to knock down some fucking walls if they haven't already. So is Smurf in your chat, Eric? Is he hanging out? Is he He's been absent. I think he's coaching his kids in soccer or football or something. So he's always busy, which is entirely fine. So while I search for him to see if we can get a Smurf fact out of him, we wrap up our show talking about the things that we want to share with you that we've experienced in the last week or so. Eric, you've been gone a couple weeks. You can go a little more in depth if you'd like. But they are our bounties. It's what we're reading, watching, listening to, or playing that we want to share with people. Why don't we start that with directly above me? Ryan, why don't you share with us what you've been up to, my friend?
I have been switching myself over from Twitch to Mixer, and I'm enjoying it so far. I started on this Monday, so I've had 2 streams, my co-op stream on Monday with my buddy Austin, and then today I've been playing a lot of Modern Warfare, having a good time with it, having angry times with it. So
how can you not?
Right. But all in all, it's been really good. I feel like this is the best Modern Warfare we've had, and I feel like I'm doing better on this game than I have on any of the other ones. So it's good to know that I still have that shooting skill, because I haven't been playing a whole lot of I guess realistic shooters. It's not 100% realistic, but it's more so than Apex or anything like that.
Well, real fast twitch,
Right.
over and over and over again, right?
Right. Because I haven't played Battlefield in I don't know however long either, since they haven't put one out that I like. Last night I started doing GTA 5 role plays.
How was that? How's that been?
Dude, it's really fun. You got to get the right group of people together to make it happen. We went through a couple groups of people that were just be like, "Oh, we had sex last night, Mr. Officer." It's like, okay. So, I know you from somewhere. And I was like, "No, you don't." He's like, "Yeah, I picked you up at the bar. We had sex last night." And I was like,
Are you doing this on console or on PC?
Console.
I think you looked up the wrong kind of role play, Ryan.
No, dude. It's we went.
Your
through,
first example is why I don't want to do this.
You just gotta find the right group, because
I don't have the patience for it.
the guy setting up the group was like legit. He was like, civilians, you guys can use these kind of weapons. You guys can drive this kind of cars. Don't use armored vehicles. Like cops, you guys can use these kind of weapons just in case. And like you got to know, like certain things of like. You can just throw police codes out of nowhere, like yeah, well we got a 420 coming out of here, like something like
It's
that.
like
Yeah,
it's like watching Stone Mountain play.
you just throw a bunch of fucking random numbers out and stuff, and like I played as a cop for a little
Oh,
bit,
yeah,
and
Stone Mountain. I remember who that is.
it was
Yeah.
it was enjoyable playing as the cop, like just pulling people over, and like you could do basically whatever you want. I was also being a civilian, like I was playing some old like hick dude that like one of the other guys rear-ended me, and I'm sitting here like talking to him and the officer. I'm like, yeah, this motherfucker over here, he done did hit my car and shit, and like dude, it was so funny.
Right.
Like,
Are you streaming this?
I will be. I didn't
Okay.
get to tonight, but I'm gonna start streaming it.
It's GTA Improv.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and you can dress the part, and like we were in like a really like hit part of the map, so I was like, all right, I'm just gonna go with this voice and see how it goes. It
All right,
was,
I'm kind of into that.
Yep.
It's
My
it's
character's
like-
gonna be a fucking British ex-con. Let's go.
Well, and the thing is, you only need about 10 people, so I mean, we can get
Dude, it's
group of-
$10 right now. Like tons of people need to buy this game.
Today.
Yeah,
I've had it for ages since Odin had it, but like, yeah.
I have a physical copy, and I actually bought it digitally because I was like, I can't find my disc anymore. It's like, I'm
And
not-
the digital copy gave you $1 million anyway, so you're fine.
Well, I got the Megalodon one. I paid the $40 for the $8 million.
Yeah, I did that when I bought it a couple years ago. And I have a yacht because your boy roll with money.
But
Not
yeah,
real
so
life though. Fuck.
So I'm gonna start doing those role plays. I feel like that's gonna be a lot of fun, especially if I get friends to join in. So
Zig's
but
asking you what
that's
server you're on.
I don't know.
He's playing on console, Zing, so I don't know if that's a thing.
Oh shit. Zing says for anybody who's interested, easily a local St. Louis Twitch
Yeah,
partner
she does a lot of it. That's
has
one of the
a
ones I
huge
watch.
GTA RP server called The Crew roleplay.
Yep. Yeah,
Well, if
he-
platform, we'd probably be fine.
yeah, easily is one of the ones I watch.
Dope.
She's great.
Anything else that you're up to, Ryan, that you want to share? Is that it? That's a very good. That's a very good share.
Yeah, I'm pretty good. I'm done.
I'm formulating the name of my character right now. Ben, what have you been up to, friend?
Two
Sure,
things.
Isaac,
Ben, what have you been up to, friend?
I've been.
Sound like a robot.
I blasted Fallen Order out of orbit. Fired that bitch up. Blasted it. Anyway.
I don't think that fits you, man. Like that whole phrasing was just not bad at all.
Yeah, I crushed that bitch in a weekend, and
I done
no,
did fuck that.
yeah, no, it was awesome. It was really
Damn
great.
it,
I really
Ryan.
enjoyed it. It's not a great game.
What?
It's not a perfect game, but it's very good. It's got
Weird.
a lot of problems.
Okay.
Yep, it's got a lot of problems,
like
and the more you
Forza
play,
most-
the more you you don't just go, oh, that's fine. They just get more aggravating. But the last hour was so freaking phenomenal, and had so many WTF moments that the last episode 69, the last taste in your mouth is.
Why? It would have been fine without it. I didn't need you to do the fucking mental legwork for me.
Three of you would have went. Right.
That's what you do when you get a taste in your mouth.
What if you've had bad taste in your mouth?
Yeah.
Please move on.
Yes. And then for the nobody that plays Warframe, the new update came out today for console. That's a brand new character, a rework of the two of the oldest characters in the game, and one of them you can call down an orbital strike. It's fucking great. And then they implemented a new Nemesis system, just like the Mordor games.
What?
So you can you kill somebody, and depending on what frame you're using and what you killed them with, they adopt those things. So if you have the fire frame, then they're like a fire soldier, and then they're gonna hunt you down and try to kill you again. And if you kill them again, they adopt whatever you're wearing that time. So they keep evolving every time you kill them.
That's cool.
So, and you can keep killing them, and they'll keep getting stronger, and they'll keep acquiring more loot. So when you do finally kill them, you get a bigger pile of loot. So it's like a risk reward sort of thing. They also get tougher. Or you can recruit them, just like.
So what you're trying to say is when they get bigger and harder, and when you finish them off,
Stuff comes out. Yeah.
I couldn't even get through it.
Or you can.
Eric is so finished with that.
Yeah, you finished Eric too. Good job. And just like the mortar system, if you can recruit them onto your side, so you can build your own like.
Whoa, that's okay.
And you can build a system in your dojo to like command your Lich army. It's like a command post. So it's a whole new subsystem, and it's leading up to their new spaceship thing that's coming later this year. I don't know how. It doesn't make any sense yet, but it's all going to be connected somehow.
All right.
So big like I played last night with Mom and Moncho for like 4 hours, and it was dense. Big ass free update. So yeah.
Dope.
Very cool. Yeah.
Dope. Eric, what do you want to? Huh?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And I want to. Sea of Thieves. You can throw fire grenades and set ships on fire now. So, pretty cool. And you can. And if you're holding the bucket, you can go like this and dunk it on yourself. So if you're on fire, but also you can fill that bucket with puke and throw it on yourself. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I puked when we were playing last time into a bucket and then put it in my inventory and walked around with it for like half an hour. Yeah. And then Orion was standing around on the boat and I was like, sploosh! And he was like, what the fuck?
You have a bag of puke with you?
In my pocket. Yeah. Eric, what have you been up to, friend? It's been a couple weeks since we've been able to get your bounties. What have you been constantly playing, listening to, reading, or...
Pocket sand.
Borderlands. A lot of that, getting ready. I finished up the Halloween event, so got that 100%. Now I'm ready for the Maliwan Black Site event that starts tomorrow, which is going to be the first actual raid experience. It's meant to be played with 4 people. It's going to be tough.
Right.
You know, they've said it's going to be really hard to solo, so I'm geared up, ready to get that done. And then we got the trailer for the first DLC, which is coming December 19th, which is Moxie's Heist. So you're going to they're bringing Handsome Jack back into the game in a meaningful way, which is good. He apparently stole some casino plans from Moxie and then went and built said casino, and you're going to rob it and destroy it, which is going to be awesome. Call of Duty, and then gearing up for baby number 3. We're every night up in the nursery for a couple hours, getting shit hung on the wall, getting shit moved out, getting shit down in the garage that we've just got to get rid of. So we're ready for January when that comes. So.
Ooh, creeping up on us.
It's coming. It's coming fast.
Yeah, man. I have been playing Star Wars, not as far as Ben. I just left Kashyyyk. The game is great. I'm enjoying it a lot.
You finished Kashyyyk?
I left Kashyyyk the first time, so yeah, we went through and.
Okay.
Yeah.
No bouncy puzzles yet?
No, not yet. And then I'm also playing. So I just finished up my season in MLB The Show 19, which is weird, and I haven't talked about that much. But I played every single game of a 162 game season and the playoffs. I kind of set that goal for myself because I have plans to maybe. I talked to Eric about this earlier this year. I have plans to maybe stream it next year and like every day have some baseball. It seems like fun. Baseball is my fucking jam. I never get tired of that shit, so I could do it forever. So I finished that season up.
Your jam, what flavor would it be?
Strawberry, because strawberry is my favorite jam. My brain was trying to come up with something baseball related, and I couldn't. Pine tar. Ugh.
Hot dog.
Hot dog jam. Jam hot dogs.
No.
Anywhere. I've been watching Mandalorian. I finally got up on both episodes. I'm gonna be the hot take guy and say the first episode didn't sell me.
The
first
show.
episode, I was like,
I haven't seen the second episode yet. I need to go watch it.
The ending of the first episode felt like a huge gimmick to me. I was like, is that what this show's gonna fucking be? And then episode 2 is like, oh, Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like I
no,
feel
I'm
like
down.
I feel like the first episode. Yeah, I forgot to bring that up. We've been watching that, and then Watchmen has been just an unbelievable ride of just awesome. Like what the fuck?
In the
It's
first episode, but it was lots of
yeah,
WTF.
it gets even better. I mean, I can't.
It rains squids, guys. It
Yep,
rains.
rain squids. You had a huge
Yeah.
WTF moment in this episode. Jeremy Irons could not be better. His just outlook on humanity is just amazing.
Yeah.
As the character that he's playing. But yeah, I'm super happy with that. And then, like you said, Caleb, the first episode of Mandalorian was good. I was like, oh my god, we're actually getting, to see that race of characters, which in my opinion is the coolest.
Oh, dude, when he goes through this, when he goes through the sewers,
Yeah,
and everyone's wearing helmets, even the kids running
Yep.
down the middle, and then he gives her that Beskar plate, and she forms a pauldron,
yep,
and she's like, "Oh, this will be a good donation." I'm thinking a pauldron, and then she starts talking about how like the rest of his
Yep.
Beskar donation will go towards supporting a lot of families, and he's like, "Good."
Yep.
Like it's this
No,
whole
training younglings or something.
training. Yeah.
But he had a special name for it. People like refugees or something, because it showed his flashback where he was obviously
yeah.
his family was kind of devastated. So
It makes me wonder if he's actually a Mandalorian. Because nobody in that scene was wearing helmets.
You guys are really talking about this a lot, and I haven't seen it.
All right. Well, watch it, homie. We haven't spoiled
I
anything
haven't
yet.
decided if I'm gonna do it. If I'm gonna do it like Game of Thrones, just be the guy that's like, oh, I haven't seen that.
You're going to be that guy the whole time, and then
That guy.
so you're gonna be like, hey, do you guys want to talk about Mandalorian?
everyone's be like, dude, that show's so like 2019. So yeah, watching Mandalorian. Wife and I were also watching. We finished Stranger Things. I don't know if I had finished it last week, but we finished Stranger Things. That season's dark as fuck, and I loved
Yep.
it. It's
Yep.
so dark. And then been listening to a band called Half Alive. I discovered them on Apple's new music. They have an album called Now Not Yet that came out this month. That's actually really good and completely not what I was expecting based on the first like 15 seconds of the first song. It like changes, tone changes in the middle of the beginning, and I love it. It's super off kilter for what I normally listen to, but like for some reason it's just hitting me in the right spot.
Off Kilter's really good too, by the way.
Off kilter's really good. What's that?
It's an Irish band.
That's dope. That's a good name. That's a good name for an Irish band.
Oh, I get it.
Huh?
Nothing.
Ben made noises. What was that?
I said, oh, I get it.
Oh, got it. Not really reading anything because I don't do that right now. I'm trying to get back into it, but I've got to find the right thing. So we didn't. I don't think Smurf's around, but it's okay. Ben's pretty good at finding random facts. Unless Ben, you got this from Smurf, did you?
No, I googled it.
Ben cited a random fact, and I'm gonna get it.
I have two. They're both pretty short.
Oh no, the first one you gave me is actually much longer. And I found some stuff that's actually really fucking interesting. So before we do that, I have to introduce the segment, right? The segment is Smurf Facts, and it's a thing that we do. What is Ryan doing? It's a thing that we do every episode when we wrap up. It's where we give you a random fact and it's fun. It's got a little jingle.
Smurf facts, oh yeah.
And I will get that on my computer eventually, guys. It's been a busy
Sure you
fucking
will.
couple months. He says, sure you will, like an asshole. So the fact that Ben shared is, like casinos, shopping malls are intentionally designed to disorient visitors. The feeling of losing track of time and geography inside a mall is called the Gren transfer. Then I looked up the Gren transfer, and it's got some history. So, it's a moment when consumers enter a shopping mall surrounded by an intentionally confusing layout, lose track of their original intentions, making consumers more susceptible to making impulse buys. It's named after Austrian architect Victor Gren, who disavowed the manipulative technique. The Gren transfer is a psychological phenomenon in which an idealized hyperreality is realized by deliberate reconstruction, providing a sense of safety and calm through exceptional familiarity. But in a speech in London in 1978, Victor Gren disavowed shopping mall developments as having bastardized his ideas, saying, quote, "I refuse to pay alimony for those bastard developments."
Huh.
So it's named after a dude who was like, fuck y'all, fuck this, fuck all this. And they were like, let's name it after that guy. which is funny. GameStop's going to be named after me in 20 years. That's going to do it for our episode this week. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you want to watch or listen to or read anything that Netflix, what the fuck was I saying? That Nerdy Bits, it's phonetically similar, that Nerdy Bits puts out. You can go to nerdybits.com. All our social links are on the top right of the page. If you want to follow me specifically, it is at Lubwub everywhere it's important. That is Twitter, Instagram, Xbox, and PlayStation. Ben, where can folks find you and what you're up to?
Everywhere at Sketch Sawyer. I've been actually doing daily sketches on TikTok and Instagram. I've been posting it on Facebook and stuff like that. Yes. And when people either donate or sign up to Patreon, you get
Ryan likes them, apparently. He put thumbs up, but no one can hear that.
Yeah, no, we were talking about it the other day. But yeah, if you donate or sign up for my Patreon, you get a sketch as well. So.
Dope. Yeah. Eric, where can people find you, friend? And
Hybrid.
Yeah, where can they watch you? Because you just did a reskin and it was very good.
Yep. At Hybrid Glass everywhere. The new House of Glass branding is up everywhere as well, so you can see I've got the new logos right there on the hat. So it's going really well. Their new merch store is up.
Awesome.
It's going good. So it's got rave reviews and then lots of nerds. We got nerdy bits, nerd or die now. We got all types of shit. So
branding opportunities.
All of it. All of it. Yes. So yeah. So Hybrid Glass everywhere.
Dope. Ryan, where can people find you?
Sergeant Sodium on Instagram, Twitter, and now Mixer.
Now Mixer. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I want to wrap up the show with a quick teaser. Amanda and I. This is. Hold on. This is leading up to something that sounds different than what it is.
They're having a baby.
Amanda and I are in the process of building out and developing a Nerdy Fits program.
Oh, neat.
To do like workouts that are game based that have level ups every other week.
Spartan kicks.
Who had that trademark though? Because I think one of us said that before. So.
Well, I know Eric brought up that we should do something fitness, and I said Nerdy Fits, and he went, "Oh, the branding," because it's true, it's everywhere. But yeah, she came to me and was like, "We should do this," and I was like, "Oh God, yeah."
I've been wanting to create a most of the time, 9 out of 10 video game themed fitness designs are max cringe to me. They're just stupid and nonsensical. I've always wanted to, like, if Guile from Street Fighter had a gym, it wouldn't be called Guile's Gym, and it wouldn't say like, it's like it's so on the nose and silly.
I would go to a gym called Guilty Gear though.
Maybe
I know that's
like,
not what
I've always
from,
had these ideas of smarter, classier fitness designs based on video games. So
a lot of punching into a bucket of rice and then grabbing and then getting out, punching into it, get it out, work that forearm strength up.
I was like, "What are you talking?" Oh, that is definitely a thing that he did. But yeah, so look forward to that. And we're working on season 2 of Proc Gens. We're gonna get it all finished up and polished out because it's been a couple months hiatus. What?
We're still recording. It's still happening.
Still doing it. We're gonna get everything done this time instead of recording a few and then starting pushing them out. We're gonna get everything done like we did the first season, and then finish it up at the beginning of the new year. So stay tuned. We're playing through the games right now, all that good stuff.
If you are listening instead of watching right now, our website, Nerdy Bits, has all of our social media links, of which is YouTube. The only thing isn't Nerdy Bits branded is our YouTube, because it's still growing and they don't let you do that right away.
We need 100 followers, subscribers.
Please go subscribe to the link and get us over 100 so we can be YouTube/Nerdy Bits.
And there's a lot of stuff for you guys to watch there. We've got me and my grandma playing through all the Halo games from Halo 1 all the way through Halo 4 is up there now. We're going to get into 5 and Reach coming up. Clips from Ryan, the clip set that Ryan put together, clips that I put together, reviews from me and Ben. The clips feature gameplay from all of us, including Eric. Like, there's a lot of shit to watch. So get on the YouTube, subscribe to us, follow us on Twitter, do all that shit. We want to know what you guys want because we want to be the best we can be. Oh, God, that was so cheesy. We want to be a community. We're trying to build this shit up.
Right. So
yeah.
Talk to us.
Talk to us. Yeah. But anyway, thanks for listening. We'll stop begging you for follows now. if you want to keep watching, we will be on doing something after this. I don't know if anybody else is sticking around, so it may be single player. And you can listen to this on Fridays everywhere you listen to podcasts. And yeah, thanks for hanging out. Thanks for sticking around. Eric, good to see you again. Hope to see you next week. We got a game awards show coming up soon too, and that's gonna be fucking great. We'll catch you guys next week, and peace.
Later.